many times and how successfully teams are able to play that run back. And so
That's right.
certainly a good end result here with a usable stone up front and some backing. And Moulding's just going to loop another one around. Good defensive, offensive play. This is Jeff Ginter. He's a club manager up north in Dawson Creek. Runs a great club up there, and he's down here, and again getting a chance to play at the Sunday, so I'm sure that's been a thrill for them.
I bet. Jason and I were discussing the curling game earlier this morning.
And what did you figure out?
They're just excited to be here, like all of us. It's been a challenging couple of years.
Right now, all right, well, certainly a lot of yellow in the house. A lot of yellow in play. Karsten just choosing to remove that high red one. That run back really not in play there anymore. A great throw there by Jeff on his earlier shot to. Oh, there we go. We've got the 1 and 3 guard. They're really high, and then the one close to. Of course, they do that to create as much separation so that the double is not easy. So just and that number one, that high guard is extremely difficult to play. Very low margin. It's no different than trying to put it number 3 and not in the house. But a great well-managed shot there.
Usually, if I'm playing it, it's completely accidental.
Well, great throw there. They're moving everything around. They got the one off the button. They got the one off the top 12. So great throw there. And the rock they left, while it's still covering the center, should be long enough that a hack weight or backline weight should be able to get around to the button if Moulding's able to vary one. So just a great shot there by Team Sturmay to get them out of a lot of trouble that was building.
Yes, there was a lot of yellow in the play there.
You can see the smiles on all three players behind there, Bennett, Sturmay, and Kennedy, obviously being pleased now with how things look. Of course, Darren, what's he going to do? Just going to lob another one around.
Absolutely.
Of course, Jason last year played with Team Tardy at BC.
Okay.
Sterling Middleton and the older Tardy brother. They're not together. Tyler Tardy playing with Kevin Cooey going next year. Haven't quite heard what Jason will be up to, but look forward to finding out a few more as these top teams settle into their spots. We'll start to find out what other teams are doing.
Looks like a nice, well played draw. Oh, just past the tee line there.
Yeah, first time this end, Karsten's going to have a chance to go on the offense here.
Plan is to sit right on the button there. Possibly freeze to the yellow rock.
Yeah, he's really toying with whether he wants to come off the yellow or draw straight in there. And I think
they're going for the belt.
Yeah, he's going to try and hit and roll off. I think it's a good play because if he leaves it there, it does give Moulding the in-off. If he gets perfectly buried, if it does overthrow on the other side, it will leave a bit of a jam and make it harder for Darren to get out. But like this play, it's a good shot. Remove one of the yellows. They're going hard, though, to get it by this.
By that front guard there.
Yeah. The weight's down.
There you go.
Just missed it.
Just missed. Yeah, a little bit of an overcurl there by the looks of it.
Well, it still gives them a rock in the back of the house. Kind of buried, not easy for Moulding to get at. So it could be brought into play later. Did remove the one on the button. So, plan maybe C. But certainly it didn't end terribly.
Oh, no, and it's a second shot rock. There's always a possibility, right?
Yeah, Darren will have to be very careful here now. They've got to make sure they make those shots so that they don't bring that red one back into play. As long as they can keep out counting it as they come around and not set up a double, they'll be fine. But that's where they just got to be a little bit careful as they play this out. But I'd expect nothing but success with this team. They're very good, and they obviously played a great game yesterday. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I've got a really good shot coming in here. I want to take it deep enough though to get second, but
No, it didn't quite make second shot.
chance to throw the exact same shot, and I wouldn't expect them to miss it twice. I think they got a good read. He will, in playing the shot, I believe he'll end up behind the tee line, so he's looking like maybe doing a larger roll. It'll leave the button open for Moulding to draw into, but if he does hit and roll to the back of that button, it'll give Moulding a chance to take the end away by freezing right on top. So
that's right.
Really good play here to not just roll over there and clear it to the side and sit two. I expect this to be really close. They just threw this line, adjust the weight a bit. I think it was a bit down last time.
Yeah, it looks to be a little heavier than the first one.
Going hard here is Venice to try and carve it over. Really good result. It does give Moulding a chance to either make a play and roll in on a very light shot, just tap to the back 12 or 8, for them to be backing, or just do the double as he showed there.
As he's looking at, yeah.
What do you like better, Nadine?
I personally like the hitting the stick to it. If you just put it in there, there's a chance for Red to take it out and just score one. So the aggressive shot for me would be the hit and the stick. They are sitting. They do have one in the house there, so.
I think Darren's a veteran of this. I like his call. You don't want to bring a 3 into play. It's going to hit this roll a bit to the side.
I might even go there if it's double, to be honest with you. It is there. It's a tough double, but a lot of distance between those two red ones.
Yeah, what I like about the hit roll there, the original caller, was that he'll be sitting shot. He forces a play on it. If it rolls out or he doesn't get a perfect roll, he'll have the chance back. And it may even set up a cross-court double depending on how far it rolls over. So I don't like going after the double at this point. I think it's a harder shot and he will likely roll out and making the deuce easier, and even bringing a 3 into play if Karsten can bury one around. But this shot, I think, is the offensive defensive shot to hit and lie one and a setup shot for the next one, but make sure that he doesn't give up a 3 here.
No, I wouldn't want to give up 3, that's for sure.
But it's better than giving up 4. So.
Oh, what was that?
Well, Darren said yesterday during the hot shots, which they did last night, that he likes Jeff's line calling, so expect this to be close. They're going to get a bye.
Oh, he just tapped onto his front yellow there.
I don't know if he got the wrong line or just over curled on him. I don't know. They may not have played that shot before, so that does bring the 3 into play. But Darren will have that yellow rock that was just pushed out to tap back, so it's still not the wrong situation. And Karsten has to be careful here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him just lop another one on top and sort of half cover that the red on the back 4 and be top 4.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
And then Darren does have to play on his yellow, but you misplay that, and now you bring 4 into play. So.
And Red does have lost off this end.
There's an opportunity here. I expect Karsten to be close on this. I'll try to keep an eye on the timings, and we'll try to keep an eye on some of the ice swing here so we can hear this some information as the game goes on. They're really going hard on this. It seems a little bit light. We really want to drag this in for the third shot.
I think we're sitting guard weight there. Yeah, which I don't mind.
Well, it's a good plan B, but it does give Darren an easy shot to make sure that he'll at least be second and force a tough ball for two, or even potentially, if he takes it perfectly, get it. He's got a lot more room now to push this one back because of that red guard. So I really like, tapping that top four. If we can get it there, I'll be covering it, and really good chance to steal now.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the body language would tell you that if you look at Sturmay and Kennedy behind with the crossed arms, and the face, I think, says it all. There's still a warm fire behind. I like that. But.
Yes. Of course, for those of us that aren't familiar with the Leduc Curling Club, we are in the heart of a rec center. And the fireplace, little known fact, actually is dead center.
Oh. Fun fact of the morning. Thank you, Nadine.
Yes.
I hope you've got a few more of those. And as a treasure of the club, maybe there's a few other things you'll share with us as we go on.
Perhaps.
Well, Darren was a little inside, or they didn't quite have enough ice in the last one. They've thrown a few down this waist, Sturmay earlier in the end, so they should have this ice pretty well read. It's a chance to tap their yellow back and be shot behind some really good coverage here. So. Right, they're on it now for line. Got to go hard to get it by, and they did. Got to stay on it. They don't want to lose the angle and pop it in the open, which is what they're going to do. So really good weight, but
just curled.
So a chance now to get a little inside roll and push this to about 12, but at least if you hit and stick, you should be able to score your two. So if they can just get enough on the inside and feather it past their red, they have a chance to bring the three into play. But want to make sure that they don't get too cute, like we saw earlier this end, and have an overcurl and miss a chance to get the deuce. Reminder for those who might have joined us after the beginning of the broadcast, you are watching Curling Alberta's Boston Pizza Tour Championship. It's going to run all the way through Sunday. It's here at the Leduc Curling Club, a great member club of Curling Alberta, and a club that hosts a lot of events.
We definitely have been fortunate to have a strong core of volunteers. Events such as this would not be possible without some dedicated time.
It's going hard. This is really taking off on them. They've got to hold it
by their guard.
They don't want to raise up that yellow one either. It might get the tick. Oh.
9 minutes. It looks like one red.
Well, your eyes are better than mine.
They're looking pretty close. But
yeah, I think you're right. If it looked red to you and they kicked them away, it must mean. So that would be 2-1. Moulding escaping a great opportunity there for Sturmay to put maybe a 3 on. But nevertheless, just a little lighter, a little inside, or a bad combination of both. So here we go. We're about to start the third end, but we're just going to bring you a quick commercial while we let them set up for the end.
Win big with Curling Alberta's 50-50. Please, play responsibly.
So you're a pizza person, but you're married to a wing person, and your kids are salad people? You can't pick your fam, but with over 50 menu items to choose from, you can make them all happy. Order today and enjoy Boston Pizza at home.
All right, welcome back. We're back to the third end here. 2-1 lead for Team Moulding. They scored 2 in the first. Sturmay a chance for 2 or 3 in the second, but came up a little short, a little inside, and only picked up the 1 in the second. So we're back at it with some offense starting right away. This time a center line guard for Team Moulding. They didn't go in the house, and center line guard for Team Sturmay, and Team Moulding coming back with a corner guard. So we're going to have rocks in play. Should be an exciting end, Nadine.
It should be.
That's Nadine Morosky. She's a treasure here in Leduc. More importantly, she's their number 1 commentator joining me this morning. I look forward to it, Nadine. You already brought us some great information about the fireplace being the center of this entire facility, and who knew?
It's actually interesting. In my previous job, I was an electrical engineering designer, and I was fortunate actually to be able to work on this facility when they did the expansion back in 2004. For those of us that remember the old curling rink, it used to be a separate building. Back in 2004, we expanded the facility to include 2 hockey rinks and the field house, which is just directly across from us. If you're coming to the curling club this weekend and watch the event, you can check out some volleyball. There's a big volleyball tournament happening here this weekend as well. So it's a busy place.
Well, Team Sturmay throwing up the second center line-ish guard. So certainly it's time Moulding looking to draw around into the center and go on the offensive here. And hopefully at some point be able to use his corner guard to generate his deuce. I think for Team Sturmay, they're not fully bearing that, leaving it out. They have 2 good run shots here available to them, one being a very short one. So it'll be interesting to see if Karsten decides to come down on top of this great throw by Team Moulding, or if he wants to run that back. It looks like he'll stack. Just a reminder, what are we playing for here? Well, there's $35,000. Now, that's between both the men's and ladies' events. There's 8 teams in each. So that's $17,500. The champion on Sunday, presented by me, Nadine, will be getting a check for $8,000. Not a bad payday.
No, not at all.
Not at all. The runners-up, you know what? No shame. They're $4,500. Semifinalists, there'll be 2 of them at $3,000. Quarterfinalists, $1,500. And of course, last night we did the hot shot, and our 2 winners, Kayla Sturmay won the women's side. She actually tied with teammate Brittany Tran, and they had to do a count back, and it had ended up going to Kayla Sturmay. She won $500.
Nice.
And on the men's side, Brad Thiessen just squeaked in off of Team Botcher, just squeaked into the final spot in the qualifying, and then he came out at throwing, and he won by 3 points to win the men's at $500. Carrick Martin did some sweeping for him, but Julia McKenzie off of Team Crow was out there sweeping as well. So a lot of fun last night. We had junior stars from the club. I think there was 11 of them, and they were out throwing rocks. They were sweeping, just really engaged and involved in it, and a great job done by the club to make that special for some of the junior curlers.
And I understand our mayor was here as well last night.
Bob Young was in the building, as they say.
In the building.
And of course, Sheldon Hay. Sheldon Hay, who's the representative for Boston Beats, franchisees who are the sponsors. He was here as well. He threw a rock, challenged all the competitors, and he threw it in the top 12. He had some good sweeping by Rochelle Brown off of Team Rock and Carrick Martin, and Aaron Sluchinski, who held the broom for them. And for those who don't know, Aaron Sluchinski is the men's players rep. He sits on the competitions committee for Curling Alberta, and Rochelle Brown does the same for the women. 2 great representatives. Ted Appleman did that for the men up until this year, where he stepped back and left room, and Aaron came in, and we're really excited to have both those 2. They connect with the players, and it certainly can bring some great information on what they want and what they need, and it gives the players input. So.
Looks like we have the rocks sitting just in front of the team line.
This end's setting up really well for Team Sturmay. Moulding sitting shot, but that red is welded to it. Any touch on it, it's gone. A short raise. I really like this call. It eliminates this short run back and a chance to lie 2 later, and it starts to set up on the corner and should get 1 rock in the ring here for Darren. So I really like this call to remove that danger. I call it the attack zone, or that zone right in front, 3 feet just in front and within a foot of that center line is really a danger spot when your opponent's got a rock there.
It is, for sure.
Now they're on off. I think they got a really good shot here. Carve this over a little bit more to try and move it out. I would call that an in-betweener. You know,
It's a tough one. It definitely opens up the possibility for that.
Yeah, it did the job of moving that one off. It probably didn't want to push it into the house, but at the same point, you didn't want it in the center. But it was almost one where you'd want to hit more of that one and get it out of the way and keep your rock around. I think that was the important thing to get another one in.
The yellow
Or
rock
miss
does
it.
not stay.
And hit that red one and unlock them and sit on top. But we are where we are, and I like this call by Karsten to come right down on top of his red. And if it's a bit short, just put it short.
Put it right back on the center line. That's not a bad option either.
When I was doing my coach's training course, someone once told me, if your opponent removes your rock, he doesn't want it there. So putting it back is always a good
It's always a good backup plan, absolutely.
Not a lot of rocket science to that. If someone doesn't want something and they take it out, then they put it back.
That's right.
I've used that many times. In the Monday night league. This one's over curling.
It looks like it's almost a little bit light as well, just past the hog line there.
Yeah, I think that's probably why it did all that. He needed probably another about 4 feet of weight. It would have held the line longer.
Absolutely.
So we have an opportunity here for Darren. He's going to wrap one around. Not ideal playing on the center line, and I think ideally if I was him, I'd try to just tap that red a little bit on the way by to unlock those.
Well, and just get it out of the way. It's kind of they like to call those the tripping hazards.
No question, in the Battle of Alberta between Edmonton and Calgary, where Darren's allegiances lie by looking at his hat.
I see that.
Army Flames hat.
Of course, the Sturmay team has been a fixture in the Curling Club for many, many years.
It's hard to get this over the nose if they can. Really nice there. Got a bit of an angle on that front one, so it doesn't, I don't think, go over top. Maybe a little drag effect might, but at least they have unlocked that yellow. And they're sitting in a good position.
Looks like we're going to try that center line guard again.
I think they're actually going to hit this top yellow, not fully to get it out, but just to move that
Nudge
red
it
one
over,
back.
yeah.
Tap that red one back. If they could ever get a cross face of it, it'd be a really good shot. They're going hard to get it by again.
They're sweeping very hard, yeah.
It's really taken off.
And it's curling. Look at that go. Woo. Just squeaked by his guard. Looks like it's a little bit heavy.
Well, the plan was to make contact, and when you don't,
It was.
so he had perfect weight. I think that's exactly what he would have needed for the shot. That was a perfect call, but it just
Off that center
took
line, just
off.
kept curling.
Well, it's always great having good swing and curl on the ice. It means you can get to places and make shots with great technical skills. So
But it makes it challenging to think about, too.
just gonna try and get you out of While we wait for Darren to make this call, a reminder: there's a few other games going on out there. The other semifinal, or I should say quarterfinal, in the men's is Team Parent against Team Botcher. Botcher beat Team Cross last night. Team Parent taking out Team Jakes last night. And the losers from yesterday, Team Jakes is playing Team Cross, and Sluchinski is playing Myers. So it is a triple knockout. Somebody comes out of A, somebody comes out of B, and two will come out of C. So you don't have to be out of A. It's always an easier and better way to come. But that's what's happening in the B. Don't want your second loss. We'll keep an eye on those two games. On the women's side, we've got play as well. We've got Team Sturmay playing Team Rock, and we've got Team Skurlik playing Team Birch. In the B event, the teams that were unsuccessful last night, we've got Team Crow against Team Scherer, and Team Kesma Purcell playing Team Silvernagel. Of course, that was our feature game last night. Kesma Purcell against Team Skurlik, a rematch of round 8 at the Boston Pizza Cup in the Sentinel Storage Women's Championship played in Grand Prairie, where Team Kesma Purcell came out on top in that one. So a little bit of revenge for Team Skurlik, taking that victory in the extra end last night.
Yeah, it's
Commentate.
yeah, you can still commentate. Just the pictures frozen. So
All right, well, Team Moulding has 2 rocks in really good position here. Just in the top 8 and 1 in the back 4, behind some coverage. But Team Sturmay does have a rock in the back 12 and a chance to make a play here, a double, I think, and fly 2. Looks like we've got a hit coming up here. Sturmay getting set in the hat. I'm always mesmerized, Nadine. You see that fireplace in the back, and I think that's just a great feature. As I wait for the shots to come, I'm like, don't throw it yet. It's just so warming.
It definitely is. It's one of the favorite spots in the country.
They're going hard to get it by, and they did. Go the other way, and I think they've got this. No, but still remove the 1. Still back behind the tee line. So you were saying one of your favorite.
The fireplace is one of my favorite spots here in the when you're doing your stretches before the game. It's nice to sit by there.
Looks like Moulding's thinking of hooking another one in here to save shot. Gotta be careful because Karsten just threw that shot up the center line. I imagine he could make the same one. That would leave him long 4. Just wants to put this in a really good position. Also not to set up a double. But, if you're playing chess, the odds are on Moulding here. But there's certainly a chance still for Sturmay if there's a miss to get a big end here. So Darren has to be really careful to make sure he gets us into that full 8 at the very least.
At the very least, yeah.
There's really no hit that is enticing for him.
No, the hits are.
So this is the right call. At least he's got some coverage out front, and they're overhooking guard, so there is no real run back. But no doubt, Sturmay will have a very makeable run back for potentially a couple, or at least to get his 1. So let's see what Darren does first, and let's look at that fire.
As he's throwing the rock, it's nice to see the view, eh?
That's right. And just in case you're wondering, there is a 50-50 that's happening during this event. It's an online raffle that's being held. So we ask everyone if you have the opportunity to get your ticket. It is a one draw happening at the end of the event, so it should be a nice build-up pot. Oh, this one just coming down a little heavy, and they're able to sweep that out. They were trying to get maybe a little tick, but now a really good chance for Sturmay. I think it'll be just for 2 if he can make it. Maybe 2. Hard to tell from the overhead. Nadine, you're the one with the eyes.
I believe he's that one at the top there looks like it is third shot.
I think he was seeing could he throw a back line and come around his top 12.
Yeah, and freeze onto that.
Push it.
And push that yellow out of the way.
But I think it jams in the back one, and then it's only for one probably. So I think he'll throw the same shot he just did. Try and push this back, and I think it'll only be for one. So certainly that rock doing its job in the back.
I see that.
Barely, but that doesn't matter as long as it does the job. So it ends up being a really good throw by Moulding. Doesn't leave a double in any way. So
No.
this is a tap back to get the one. That was in really heads up play there. They didn't want to leave their yellow high and give him an in-off double. So really good to take it to the back. But again, when you do that, always a risk that goes a little farther than you wanted.
Wow, there's always that risk. Absolutely.
But these are,
But it is effective.
yeah, these top players expected nothing less from them. We're not watching our Monday Night League. Karsten just threw the shot. I expect him to be very close on it. Now going hard early. Hold it out there. They're off it now. Usually a good sign when you're on and off. It's really carving though.
It is really,
Looks
look
like
at that
he's
go.
light though.
Looks a little too light for what they intended though. And it ends up just sitting on the 8-foot there.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised because they needed to move it. So that really came up light, which is why the overcurl as well. Not Moulding. I mean, he knows this draw path, just threw it. Now with the overhook on those reds, he's got a really good chance to get
come
into
around,
that side four and really put the pressure on the Sturmay. It's going to be difficult for him to make that tap back on that red now that it's partially covered.
Absolutely.
The rock he did. So
Tap
it's
back
still
is-
there, and likely a little bit of an angle, he can still get the shot. But, bit of a miss there. Nadine, what position do you play when you curl?
Well, it depends what league I'm playing in.
Well, what leagues do you? Nadine, let's start there. What leagues do you play in? Nadine?
On Tuesday nights, I was playing in the Tuesday night social league, and it's an open league, so it's myself and whoever could show up that night. But primarily, I was playing second shot.
Nice.
And on Friday nights, it's the Friday night mixed league, and I am third. Occasionally, they make me skip, and
Then they quickly push you back to third.
I'm moderately, yeah, exactly.
Well, that's great. 2 league nights too. That's wonderful that you're getting out and playing that much curling. So that's
Absolutely, and of course this year it seemed like every bonds field we had, I was in. I participated in the ladies bonds field in Beaumont this year.
they're going hard to get this by. They want to really get this in the house if they can, and they will. And that is an absolute
played.
perfect shot.
Well played shot for 2.
So, as in the first, Darren putting 2s up, and it's a really good recipe when you score 2 with hammer and your opponent scores 1, and then you score 2 with hammer. And
Absolutely.
if you keep holding them to 1, that's a really good recipe. So far, Team Moulding is getting the better of Team Sturmay, but Sturmay's had his chances. So, and as they get used to the ice and the new sheet, and I expect to see Sturmay put up, a good fight here as we move into the second half of this game. These are 8-end games.
Win big with Curling Alberta's 50-50. Please play responsibly.
So you're a pizza person, but you're married to a wing person, and your kids are salad people? You can't pick your fam, but with over 50 menu items to choose from, you can make them all happy. Order today and enjoy Boston Pizza at home.
And passionate curlers. So really
Absolutely.
lucky to have Leduc and to have all these volunteers. You can see it in their face when you see them in the morning and the afternoon. They just love being here, love the curlers, and get really engaged with the sport. So Nadine, I'll just say, because you're the representative here today, thank you very much for your club and all that happens. And I'd be remiss not to mention the ice makers, Tim's Ice Manufacturing, that Matt Yo runs. And I had the pleasure, because I live in Banff, to be in Canmore for the Canadian Mixed. And Matt was up doing the ice there. I know he gets out and about around and supports other facilities and supports larger events. And they did a wonderful job. Great feedback from the event in Canmore. So, Matt's certainly doing a great job, not just at his home club, but when he goes out to work. So thank you, Matt. And thanks, Tim's Ice. And then, of course, from Leduc Co-op, one of the sponsors, local sponsors, Rick Polasek. So thank you very much to all of them.
We are definitely blessed in the community of Leduc to have strong support both from the city of Leduc and the sport tourism division. We're also very blessed to have sponsors such as Leduc Co-op, Boston Pizza, and all of the volunteers that spend countless hours making events like this happen. Of course, it's been a trial. Dawn will tell you last week she was also participating in stick curling, and I believe they are the silver medalists from the stick curling. She was competing with the longtime member of our club, Faye Crone.
Didn't know that. I will have to ask Dawn about that. Well, here's a fairly typical end lining up. Moulding with the league, putting the first one in. Karsten doing the corner guard because obviously wanting to generate offense. Moulding putting another one in right on the center, and Karsten just ignoring it all, getting that first one in behind. So Moulding could come around and choke off that corner guard by freezing on the corner of the red stone, but instead electing to stay on the offense. And putting a rock in the center line. Of course, Karsten at some point will have to make the play because of the shot rock on Moulding has there. But I think you'll see Karsten here. It'll be interesting to see if he wraps around again or if he just freezes on top. He does want to keep rocks in play. I don't think we'll see him start blasting. All right, a little bit of a kick shot here to reaffirm the corner side and then roll over for another corner. So I like that shot a lot.
I do as well. As we've said, if you don't want it there, take it away. But
Well, I just think, needing to generate some offense here, it keeps some rocks in play by pushing it to the right side. If it's a little bit heavy or something, he can advance his own red in or another red in.
A little bit, yeah.
So I like this call. I like the direction he's choosing to go, and then of course the corner guard that he'll end up with on the left side will be his, something he can run in later.
A play off of later, absolutely.
So there's the little details, sometimes, which side do you do, and I just think this is one of those little details that I think will work out well. And there it does, an absolutely perfect shot there. Great
Absolutely.
Throw. Glenn Bennett's their second for Team Sturmay, making a great little pick and roll, setting up a second corner guard and giving some extra protection. So Moulding's just going to ignore all that. He's going to throw another center line guard. He's going to keep on the offense here. Not even a hesitation.
Nope.
As to start chasing after Sturmay. So this should be an interesting end. This is Jeff Ginter from Team Moulding throwing. Jeff from the Dawson Creek area, down playing to the Sun Jason. So well thrown rock there. Should say that both Jeff and Jason made it through round one of the Hot Shots last night. Had a chance to keep an eye on them. They were on the same sheet and dueling it out, and I can tell you that Jason came out on top. He had 10 points to Dad's 9.
Oh, wow.
So neither were really bragging about that, but it's still a win. It's still a win, and congratulations in the Battle of the Ginters. Jason coming out on top. Got Glenn Kennedy going really hard here. They're already moving this. I don't want to run it into theirs, but they do. And there's a great example of, Darren just sticking to his guns and protecting in the center line, and he got the miss. He got the miss where he peeled out their own red. That was in a great position behind that corner.
And they're just going to put it right back on center line there.
Yeah, it's going to go a little tighter to the house on this
A
one.
little bit, yeah.
Just to make sure that, because Karsten, again, I think will stay on the opens if he can, but at some point, he's going to have to decide if he wants to bail on the end. Those two rocks, the yellows overlapping, if he can make a play on them, it could potentially bring a blank in if he needs it. Still good. He's got two corner guards, and
there's lots of possibility there for sure. Looks like it's a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I mean, we take for granted often when we watch these ends. You got two perfect rocks in the top of the house, top eight. You've got these rocks that we throw in the center line, and we just expect it because we watch the Gushies and the Cooies and all them play. But I mean, it's just great curling, and Alberta is so blessed to have so many wonderful curlers and teams, and those are not easy shots, especially on the swingy ice that we got here, and just being made to perfection. This is Christopher Kennedy's rock. A good job there. Really opens things up. Gets a stagger in the house. So certainly still Moulding has some chance to get a steal, but really good opportunity now for Karsten to keep on the offense as well.
And he just have three up at the top, not quite in the house, that are playable. Run back to there.
And those two yellows, it's a fairly easy double.
At this stage, yeah, for sure.
Darren's going to try and make a little play to jiggle them around, or he might even throw a guard on them. But I don't think the guard will call. There's too much room.
Yeah, I think they want to spread them out a little bit. His hand gesture is what they're indicating. Take the possibility of doubles away.
Yeah. And if you look at those yellows right now, the one good thing is it's really hard for Team Sturmay to use the corner red card. You can't really draw him behind.
No, you can't.
So that side's choked off. I like the thought of tapping that top one straight back, pushing the yellow a bit over to choke off that corner, and the other one rolling a bit towards center. But looks like it might just be a straight draw. And you know what? That's a really good play there. And behind, if you can get it to top eight, doesn't want to go too deep with this.
They were indicating possibly T-line.
We watch the shot come down. I want to give a little shout out. A lot of this live streaming, was pioneered by an individual. Jerry Gertz, just his curling zone and all the stuff he's done over the years for curling. Just a really great person. He's behind the scenes all the time. It's not a name that you always see out there, but he does some great work. And certainly he's got us set up here. And Jerry, if you're out there listening, which I sure hope you are, thank you for all that you're doing and you do for curling and the live streaming and bringing all these people across Canada and the world for that matter. Some great curling, not just the scores, but these live feeds. So thank you very much and well done. Kennedy's second shot here. I think he's playing the double. Take that behind the corner. Just rolls out the other side.
It's still hanging on for dear life there at the side.
It's like the Energizer Bunny. I'm like, is it going to stop? I thought it was going to stop, Sometimes in the cameras, you just see it go, 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 and you're like...
Yeah. And sometimes it almost looks like it's happening in slow motion.
A really good situation here for Team Moulding. They've got that two rocks. They got one top four. They got the guard out front. I think you could just hook it like a quarter to even just like an eighth of that red rock and put a guard right behind it. Take away the run. He's going to be in really good shape here.
Yeah, they're calling a guard just get tucked in beside that red.
Just want to hook it slightly to take the run
That's
back.
right.
But if not, there's a run back double for sure. And there's someone out here who's going to make that. Karsten's certainly one of those.
Absolutely.
For a lot of these players, this is their last event of the season.
Yes.
A few people have some national ones. There's obviously some slams still left. team like Boxer, and going out and playing that, rocks and stuff like that too. So for a lot of them, this is the last big event of the season. So it's good to see them all here and enjoying this event.
Absolutely.
The event, of course, being the Boston Pizza Tour Championships, both men and women. 8 teams on each side competing, top teams, with 2, 1 man, 1 woman from Saskatchewan, because the tour is not just restricted to Alberta. Obviously, it attracts a lot of Albertans, but because Alberta is a prime place for a lot of curlers to come, we get curlers from around the world. I have the Okotoks events that have teams from Switzerland, teams from Japan. So you know what? It's a big attraction. So all these teams earning these points are able to come back and play, and it's great for Saskatchewan to have two such teams over playing, Nadine.
Absolutely. It looks like a very well played guard on the center runner to take that run back away.
Oh, fantastic. They have used great precision all end.
While their weight has just been bang on every shot.
I know, and this is another great example of what the free guard zone has done in the sport. It enables that team without last rock to establish this type of presence. And if you can keep establishing it, you can keep that advantage and keep on the offense. This probably a great textbook end in terms of what the free guard zone does versus what used to happen in the game when you just rip every guard that was thrown up.
Well, absolutely. It makes the guards very effective pieces in the game. Looks like they're still trying for that run back.
I think they're going to peel this over top. The yellow, they'll probably throw it back in if they can catch the other yellow. But most importantly, you want to remove both these guards if you can. Oh, and it did. Well, Moulding will just replace that.
Absolutely.
I got to be honest. I don't think from the right side, if this is going perfectly, Sturmay's going to have a draw in. That draw path is blocked by the red stone. On the left side, with that overstagger, there may be an exact foot-by-foot area he could draw to, but it'll be against 2. So, again, a well-played end. They do have those corners. At least the left red one, they can slash in, maybe half a rock. So there certainly will be a shot, but it's not going to be an easy one here for Sturmay if Moulding puts this on perfectly. Can't hear Jason, but I think he's saying it's got all the weight they need.
It's got that and then some.
This is an overflow. Looking like it's stopping in a great spot. The high side was what they needed. Look at that. Perfect rock.
Perfect draw.
I'll tell you that we've just seen 8 perfect rocks. If you want to rewind that and
Yeah,
use it as a teaching thing, I would suggest you could.
We're actually talking about that for the off season, starting, of course, the league has a summer league. We start curling here in August, and you'll see actually a lot of these faces active through that league because it being one of the first. A lot of people are eager to get back out, and we actually ran an adult curling camp. My teammates are saying, "Nadine, you need to go."
Well, who am I to say? I thought that this side would be difficult, but they're obviously feeling that they have a better chance to get by that top red and get to the 4 foot. There's more room. It's the right side to come if you can, but the left side I thought might give a little better chance. But either way, this is an extremely tricky shot.
It is very tricky.
It could be game ending. Now, it may not end the game this end. It may, but it might just defer it. This one needs to be made. And they're going hard right out of this man. It's looking light. They're going hard on this.
Almost.
It's going to overcurl, and they're kicking it already.
It looks a little bit, it looks a little too light for what they were intending. So we just need up 2.
So there we go. Another 2. This time a steal by Team Moulding. They will lead 6-1 as we head into
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
What has to change?
Oh, Red's got to get some rocks in the house. We need to score some points. Otherwise, I think we might have a shortened game.
Well, there's the first real mistake seen by Team Moulding coming really deep on that one. So good chance for Sturmay to get the end started for himself and not have a dangerous rock to deal with later on. So real good opportunity here. I'm going to throw the corner guard. We should say, and you mentioned about an adult camp, Alberta Rocks has been coming here for over 25 years. And these are summer camps that the kids come to. I remember my son used to come to them. Over 100 kids come. Many of these curlers, this is where they got their start. This is where they met their future teams. And in fact, we heard from Brad Thiessen last night, the winner of the Hot Shots. He actually met his future wife here at the Alberta Rocks.
That happens.
And of course, they then come back usually later and they do help out with instructions. It's just a great camp. And if you've got kids out there looking to get in, especially in our case, when my son came, we're from a rural area, not a lot of kids to hook up on teams with. So it's just a great chance to meet other curlers, to get some great instruction, and also to put together some teams and really get into the sport in a competitive way, be that a recreational competitive or a more serious competitive. So certainly it happens in the summer. And for parents coming, we just stay at the campground. It's great to barbecue. It's great to enjoy Leduc. It's got a lot to offer. You want to go bird watching? That's what I do now. Does that mean I'm getting older? I don't know. But just a lot to do. So, yeah, got kids. Really consider the Alberta Rocks camp that's going to be held here later on in Leduc. And as you said, if you're an adult wanting to improve your game or get into it, there's also an adult.
Looks like we just had a rock come up short and we kicked it back.
Did you see what happened?
I'm not sure if it was not going to make it and they kicked it or...
Might have been.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
We'll never know now.
And what was beginning to set up as a great end for Sturmay is going to get a bit more difficult here with the chance to cover that rock in the top
has taken
four.
a turn for Team Sturmay. And we are fortunate on that new Alberta Rocks camp. We are fortunate to have a juniors program here in Leduc. We have kids of various ages. They start usually about age 6 or 7, and they come out here on Thursday nights. It's quite a place. There's lots of enthusiasm. The junior program is just a whole lot of fun.
How long has curling been happening here in Leduc?
This facility itself was built in 1987, but curling in Leduc has been in here since the mid-60s.
That's right. In fact, in Alexander Park, there was a two-sheet facility that was registered with Northern Alberta in 1917.
Yes.
So this facility, of course, a little later on, curling, in fact, 1917, over 100 years, 2017.
That's right. We did have a
celebrate
100-year celebration a couple of years ago. We were fortunate to get it over with before COVID struck.
All these rocks are in the house. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of movement. Move them back behind the tee line, keep the red there. Try to build themselves a bit of a wall where they try to generate some opportunity for Team Sturmay here. Needing to get themselves back in the game after a steal of 2 and 4. So 6-1 for Team Moulding. Great shot there. It's always interesting, I find. You know, here you are yellowed. You don't have last rock. You got 3 rocks in the house, but you're not feeling good because they're all in a good position that can be used by Team Sturmay.
For tips and tags, yep.
You got a big lead. That's why they say you prefer to have no rocks.
Absolutely.
Of course, the free card zone rule does work both ways. The team with last rock does have a chance to generate some follies as well. So usually having no rocks in play is difficult unless you're making a couple of doubles later in the end. But here's a good chance to get rid of this red, and they will want to roll out. I think they'll want to keep that yellow one around. But they will, which will be good actually for Team Sturmay. Just another rock they can use and play with. And ignore that center line one and try to get one in play here. Good freeze, if anything, on the inside quarter, just because it would be a longer shot roll to get it out if it's played on here in Moulding later on. Of course, we haven't heard yet where Darren Moulding will end up next year. We don't know. Where there's still a lot of these players and teams. There's holes and openings, but we're sort of seeing all the top teams across Canada, we call the slam teams, sort of settling out the new rosters. So we'd expect, over the next little while to continue to hear. Obviously, the Jeremy Hardy team breaking up and Jeremy Hardy joining Aaron Slaczynski. That was a big move. Aaron's team is wonderful. They've done great last year and the last few years, and adding a gentleman like Jeremy Hardy into their third will do wonders. So we're excited to see what that will look like next year when they come out swinging.
And I know on the ladies' side, there's been some shakeups as well. There's still some discussion about Team Silvernagle. Of course, Robin has not been playing much this season. So it'll be interesting to see where they end up.
Yes.
Jessie actually is a good friend. Her sister is a very good friend of mine, so I tend to follow them a little bit.
So you're telling me you'll get the inside story for us maybe before we come off air.
Perhaps. I may or may not know something. But there has definitely been a lot of shakeups in rosters and whatnot. And as we were talking earlier, the competitive nature of this, everybody needs a professional trades once in a while.
And for the most part, we had the chance to talk to all these players. Some of these teams even playing here won't be together, next year in their entirety. And you know what? They're all still friends. They talk together, and it's just shaking it around. Sometimes you just need a new scenery. Sometimes it's dynamics. Sometimes it's just adding a player that would be the right gel in that team. So and the good thing is they all seem to end up curling, just maybe with different faces.
Well, and it's interesting. We were having a discussion actually with Jessie about the bonspiel culture and how in the club level there's costumes and banquet entertainment and things like that, and it brings back the social aspect of the sport. And a lot of these competitive teams miss that. So when curling is still very social. So when they shake things up and participate, it brings back the reason you got into curling in the first place.
And if you're looking at, we have a lot of games going. You can watch some of the other ones. You won't get Nadine's great voice and all of her wonderful inside knowledge on those other streams. But if you are interested, you go to Curling Zone and you can see the scores. Just to bring up the speed, as we said, we've got Botcher playing Parent in the other quarterfinal. And right now, Botcher's leading 2-1. As our game shows, 6-1 Moulding over Sturmay. Warren Cross in the B side is leading Jake's 4-0. And Aaron Slaczynski leads Myers 5-2. In the women's side, we have Team Rock leading Team Marks at 3-1. We've got Team Skurlik leading Team Birch 3-2. Crow over Shearer at this point, the fifth end 3-2, and Hunkin ahead of Kesma Purcell. Hunkin, of course, was registered as Team Silvernagle, and they're leading 3-0. I should also let you know that you can go to curlingalberta.ca, and you can get all the score updates there as well. So hopefully you're able to watch all the games. At least keep your eye on this game. Some great teams playing, and we'll see if Team Sturmay can bounce back here. They're certainly starting to generate some good openings here. Good shot by Kennedy there. And just sticks around. It's another rocking play. So Team Sturmay sitting the one, Moulding is second, and then I think you'll see that Team Sturmay is sitting in the third stop position. But it looks like Darren wants to stay on the offensive and draw around at this point.
I see that.
Good news for Sturmay. All the plays on the side this end, so he's got lots of access for a final draw should things not work out in his favor as we get later on in the end. But all the plays been forced to the side, which is what you want when you have last round. Yeah, just a reminder, $8,000 for the winner on Sunday. That's a lot of money. I wish I was playing.
Why aren't you?
We're at the Boston Pizza Alberta Curling Tour Championships, both men's and women's. Darren Moulding throwing the 4 stones here for Team Moulding, playing with Jason Pincher alongside to lead Dean Darwin, trying to hook one in. Corner freeze on the red shot. Try to take away this end that Team Sturmay's done a really good job of building and really forcing play out to the side, using the rocks that were available to him
And setting up well if you use them later. They're brushing it pretty hard, and it looks like it's exactly where they wanted it.
Yeah, it's a great throw in and got shot out of it and
Absolutely.
left it high enough that coming off of the other yellow rock doesn't get the double, might be able to make a play off the very outside yellow, but still will leave the other one sitting there. So really good spot. I think Karsten will take this on. I think he needs to.
He does.
And the good thing is you can throw it thin, because if you just rub off it, you still can jam on the other yellow one there. So, very unlikely he won't get a good outcome from this one way or the other. And it's the easiest way to get at this. He does want to keep this end in play. So this is a really good opportunity here to hit and roll into the situation in the center. I mean, Darren will have that same shot back. Be able to put one in just repeat what he just did. But good opportunity here now for Sturmay to start to generate some points.
Absolutely.
Interesting to see what turn he'll put on this. A lot of times people just think just take out the rock, but based on the turn you put on, the rock kicks off either on a steeper attack or a flatter attack, and of course, they use that as a way to have a better opportunity to make the shot that they're trying to do. So I imagine he's going to do an out turn here.
That looks like what he's attempting.
It's coming quick and hard. I think they like it. Oh my word, what a fantastic shot. Not the double, but the triple. He caught it just thin enough. And you see there that out-turn action on the handle really helped facilitate that. So, I'm not sure, Nadine, if he called the triple. Obviously, it was an opportunity there, but it was a great throw rock. And now he's sitting 3 and forcing Moulding into a very, very important draw. He's going to have to try and tuck this. I'd almost suggest he won't even get shot. He's almost best to go back into the back 8 and hide it where he's maybe second shot.
Well, and minimize the impact, right?
Yeah, you want to make sure you don't leave a peak of this, because the other thing is that red rock just out front of the house can be slashed over. So if you just draw around and leave it in the top 4 or even biting front, Sturmay will have a shot here for the bundle. So
Absolutely.
Interesting to see where he sticks this rock. I think wherever he goes is going to be a very makeable shot for Sturmay to get him. I guess that's what you get.
Hopefully, unless it's a blanket.
Going on this early.
But what it does
That
is it
looks
puts
short.
them back in the game. I don't think.
Oh, here it comes. They don't want to bounce off of this. They don't want to bounce off of this, and they do.
They do. That's a wide open shot for.
This is a shot for 4, I think. If we look at that wonderful overhead camera work that we're being given here by great technical people.
Yeah, it does look like
It
a
really
shot
looks
for
like
4.
this is a
Absolutely.
shot for 4. Of course, they have to be careful. You're throwing a sensitive weight shot here. You've got to make sure you get by the center, but you've also got to hit about half to 3/4 of that rock, or you'll jam on the back and it'll only be 3, which still be a great score. Most importantly, get by that center line and make contact.
Yeah.
And make it go away.
Well, what that effectively does is it puts Sturmay back in the game.
Oh, yes. In a big way.
Absolutely.
And you remember about 4 or 5 shots into this end, Moulding sitting 3 or 4, and but all those rocks were able to be used against. That's why they say when you're up that big lead, you don't even want your rocks around.
No, exactly.
They're going hard, though, to get this by. They are going really hard, and it's not.
It's not.
I've got to wonder if Sturmay.
And that's a steal of 1.
Yeah, I wonder if his rock is it's a cutter, because we've seen
they're
almost every
shaking
end
hands.
is over curled.
They're shaking hands after the 5th end.
Well, a chance to get 4 and make a 6-5 game turns on an over curl, and so Moulding will pick up the 1. He'll win 7-1, but the game's not indicative of what actually happened up there. There was some good opportunities for Team Sturmay. Fortunately, didn't work out, and take nothing away from Team Moulding. They played an amazing game and definitely earned that win. So 7-1 win for Team Moulding. They will move on, and they'll wait the winner of the parent botcher game to play in the A qualifier. So make sure that you stay tuned. Lots of more curling coming up on this live stream. Lots of games all throughout the weekend, accumulating in the finals being played on Sunday at 1 p.m., playing for $17,500 in the men, $17,500 in the women. The champions are going to take $8,000 here at the Boston Pizza Alberta Curling Tour Championship being held in Leduc. Nadine, thank you very much for taking the time to spend with me and with all our listeners. Thank you for all your insight and all the information about the fireplace.
Well, pick up some more trivia for the next round.
So we'll just give it a moment to see if they're going to give us another game to tell you about. Certainly other games are being shown on the streams that you can pick up on. We'll just give it a minute, though, as we go to commercial, and we'll just maybe be back with you, or maybe not.
Win big with Curling Alberta's 50-50. Please, play responsibly.
So you're a pizza person, but you're married to a wing person, and your kids are salad people? You can't pick your fam, but with over 50 menu items to choose from, you can make them all happy. Order today and enjoy Boston Pizza at home.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.